wanted to ask a question about ethics. About ethics. And I know a yoga practice about the yamas and niyamas, which are practices that instead of being moralistic, good or bad, they create powers. So if you tell the truth, then ultimately everything you say becomes true. Or if you are nonviolent, truly nonviolent, then no one can be violent around you. And so I think the Western view of ethics is good or bad. And I wanted to ask you about the yogic view of it creating sort of a strength of character.
I know largely Western cultures have been cultured on morality and ethics. It all started with thou shalt not. Just because I say thou shalt not, will you stop? You will also tell somebody else thou shalt not and you continue to do it. Because if in this mind, I wanted to understand the nature of this mind, these things have been said without understanding the nature of a human being, how he is made. Right now, a simple experiment for all of you. Next 10 seconds, thou shalt not think of a monkey. Anybody successful? No. So this is the nature of the mind. If you say this should not happen, only that will happen in your mind. In this mind, there is only addition and multiplication, there is no subtraction and division. Forcefully, you cannot take away one single thing from this mind, can you? Can you? Anybody? No, that is not the nature of the mind. Without understanding the fundamental nature of the mind, the moment you say, I should not do this, I should not do that, that will rule you from within. Why are you looking at what you should not do? Now I'm not trying to teach you positive thinking. People who try to teach positive thinking, they all ended up in suicide or neurotic conditions. I'm not talking about positive thinking or negative thinking. All these things are coming because we have no clarity of vision. The only way, the only and only way you can know life is by enhancing your perception. What you perceive, you know, the rest is just imagination. Instead of enhancing your perception, you mentioned yoga. The whole science of yoga is only towards this, to enhance your perception. You definitely have heard the symbolism of the third eye. What the third eye means? To be able to see everything, a thoughtless eye, an eye without memory. Right now your two eyes are loaded with memory. If we erase all the memory in your mind right now, at least 30 to 40% of the things around you, you cannot see. Do you know this? Are you aware of this? For example, you're driving on the street, 100 people are standing somewhere on the sidewalk. You just look like this. A friend of yours is there in this crowd. Of all these 100 faces will look like a blur, but your friend's face stands out. Have you noticed this ever? Because your vision is largely aided by your memory. At least 30 to 40% of what you're seeing right now, you will not be able to see if we take away the memory from your mind. So these two eyes are loaded with memory. So because it's loaded with memory, it's prejudiced. If I look at this person, if I have known this person yesterday and she's been nice to me, I say, oh, she's a good person. If I look at this person and yesterday he did something I did not like, I'll say, oh, he's not nice. This is loaded with memory, it cannot see what is there. It sees as the memory accumulation is. So to develop a vision which is thoughtless, which simply sees everything the way it is, your perception is enhanced. Only when your perception is enhanced, you know life. If you have morals and ethics and values, they will come in handy in a society to some extent, but they will never clean you up. It is, the more people talk about moral values, within themselves the more disturbed they are. You will see they become lifeless and joyless. because you're trying to enforce something. People always think everybody has a tendency to do bad things and you have to fix that. No, they have a tendency wanting to live. How will your life happen at its fullest if you don't show them a way? They will try to find all kinds of ways to do it. 20% of our time, energy and resource is spent in the prisons in India and also a little bit here. People always ask me, Sadhguru, we are all waiting for you, why are you spending so much time with these criminals? I don't see any criminals, all I see is everybody is in pursuit of their happiness. The man that you call as a criminal pursues his happiness far more vigorously than you. That's all the problem is. In pursuit of your happiness, you're willing to stand in a line, he wants to jump the line. That's all he's doing, because he can't wait. Yes or no? That is the person who becomes a criminal, isn't it? Because he cannot wait in the line, because his effervescence for happiness is so big that he can't stop. If he has to bash you in the face and take it, he will do it, because he wants to be happy so desperately. Everybody is in pursuit of happiness. Why is it? I know it's even enshrined in the constitution of this nation, pursuit of individual happiness. If you're in pursuit of something, obviously you haven't gotten it. Yes or no? You tell me, whether joy happens to you or misery happens to you, does it rain upon you or does it come from within you? Hello? Does happiness rain upon you or misery rain upon you, or does it come from within you? It always comes from within you. Situations happen around us. It is our response to those situations which either makes us miserable or joyful. Right now, do you see me? Hello? Do you see me? Even if you're not listening to me, do you see me? Use your hands and show, where am I? Ah, you got it wrong. You know I am a mystic from South India. Now this light is falling upon me, reflecting, going through your lenses, inverted image in the retina, you know the whole story? Where do you see me right now? Within yourself. Where do you hear me right now? Within yourself. Where have you seen the whole world? Within yourself. Have you ever experienced anything outside of yourself? The whole gamut of human experience is happening within you. At least what's happening within you must happen the way you want it, isn't it? What's happening around you will never happen 100% your way, and I'm glad it is so. Because if the whole world happened your way, where do I go? I'm glad it's not happening your way. A little happens your way, a little happens my way, a little happens somebody else's way, it's fine. But at least what's happening within you must happen your way, isn't it? If what's happening within you happened your way, would you keep yourself blissful or miserable? You must choose right now, I'm going to bless you. You're not making a choice. If you had a choice of how to be within yourself, would you choose utmost pleasantness or unpleasantness for yourself? What you want for your neighbor may be debatable, but what you want for yourself is definitely highest level of pleasantness, isn't it? When you are feeling utterly pleasant, if I meet you, I'm sure you are a wonderful person. But if I meet you when you're angry, frustrated, miserable with something, you could be a nasty person, isn't it so? Is this true for every human being? So why is it that we have never strived to create a joyful humanity? We are trying to create a good humanity who is miserable. Miserable people will naturally share their misery with the rest of the world, and that's all they're doing. It doesn't matter what kind of morals you give them, what kind of ethics you give them. When you are feeling miserable, won't you rub it off on somebody? You will. So the greatest insurance to see that people do the right things is that we have to invest in making human beings into a joyful, effervescent, life-oriented human beings. Now, it is natural for them to be pleasant. It is natural for them to do the right things, whatever sustains life around them. At least if you are joyful, you tell me this, if you had a choice to work and live with people, would you choose joyful people or miserable people? Joyful people. I want you to please remember, everybody else is aspiring for the same thing. Everybody around you is aspiring for the same thing. That's the best thing you can offer. When you're joyful, do I have to tell you, don't kill that person? Thou shalt not kill, should I tell you? You will not kill. You will not do those things. All this is because there is a certain sense of lack of joy and completeness within you. To fulfill that, you have to do many miserable things in pursuit of happiness. If you are in pursuit of your happiness and I am in pursuit of my happiness, both of us come this way and meet like this, head on. Right now, two types of businesses are meeting like this. If you meet like this, initially out of your morality, out of your ethics, you'll say, please move aside. If they don't, you will shout. If they don't, you will shout. If they don't, you will shoot. Don't underestimate yourself. If something really stands in the way of your life, you want to get rid of it one way or the other, isn't it? If you are joyful by your own nature, you will do what's needed naturally. You should not be in pursuit of happiness. You must be an expression of joy. Only then you will see humanity will be on the right track.